Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So today we're going to talk real quick about something called Homestead Exemption. What is it? Why should you even care? Some important questions that we're fixing to answer. Okay, so I am reading this because it's a good bit. But in the state of Louisiana, it works like this. Louisiana state law requires that the homeowner must own and occupy the residence by December 31st of that tax year. If the owner purchases a home in 2009, right, the homeowner would be eligible for a homestead exemption in the 2009 tax year. Louisiana state law allows an individual one homestead exemption up to $75,000. What does that mean for you? That means you don't have a mortgage. Okay, it means that you have paid your mortgage off or you never took one out. So the deed is in your name, you have no mortgage. Now you're going to go up to your tax assessor's office in whatever parish you live in, and you're going to file for something called homestead exemption. Why? Because it's going to reduce or eliminate your property taxes. Okay, so we live in St. Helena Parish. We are homestead exempt. So that means our 2 acres, our home, our shop, I pay $0 in taxes every year on this property. Let me say that again, 0. So that's how they catch you guys. They convince you to get a mortgage. You get your mortgage. Now you have to pay a mortgage. You have to pay insurance on your property to cover the value of your home. So you don't have any flexibility in how much insurance that you carry. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, insurance is important. Is it? Because here lately in the last, I'd honestly say since Katrina, we have seen insurance companies bail on people. Not only bail on people, you have paid your insurance for say 5 years. Some people before Katrina, $70 a month. After Katrina, after the Great Flood in Denham Springs, people paying $1,200 a year, $1,400 a year with a $5,000 deductible. Guys, you could all but you just buy a new house for that. Rebuild it on your own for the money that you saved. So back to the thought. You have a mortgage, you have an insurance that they make you carry, and now you have property taxes. So your home is costing you a tremendous amount of money. A lot of people do not understand that. The interest rate that you're paying on your home, when you pay off, say that you took out a home loan for an acre of property and a small home in a rural area for $100,000, let's just say. By the time you pay that off in 30 years, I've done the research, it's like $240,000 that you have paid the mortgage company. So they have robbed you. That's robbery. Mortgage means death pledge. 30 years is a very long commitment. I mean, nowadays people have trouble committing to anything for even a day. So I'm just saying, you take your mortgage out, now you pay in all this interest. In fact, you pay the interest before you ever actually pay on the loan. You don't believe me? Go to the bank and ask them for a printout. Call your mortgage company, ask them for a printout. You've been paying to the interest and never have even touched the principal of what you owe on that house. That's how they catch you. So you're paying a mortgage, you're paying interest, now you're paying land taxes. Now you have to carry this ridiculous insurance policy. They have got you squared all the way around. Your money is no longer working for you. You are working for your money. I say this a lot. It's not a very popular topic, but it needs to be taught. We shouldn't be teaching people how to live with debt. We should be teaching people how to live without debt. So true homesteading, in my opinion, are people who use their property in a self-sustainable way, farming and every idea of farming with no mortgage. They are homestead exempt. That is truly what homesteading is. So when you hear people say, I homestead, but I've got an $800 mortgage, you're not really homesteading. In my opinion, you're moving to homesteading. You're really just hobby farming because it's costing you more than you can make on it. That's not self-sustainability. Self-sustainability is you have a water source. You can feed your animals no matter what comes down the pipeline. You can feed your family no matter what comes down the pipeline. Your property is paid off. It is debt-free. It is homestead exempt. It is tax exempt. If you want to carry insurance, go for it. If you don't want to, go for it. But you, as the owner of that private property, are there. Homestead exemption truly protects your loved ones. Okay, so say that you have medical bills that you couldn't pay. They can put a lien against the title, but they cannot force you to sell. Think about that. They cannot take it away from you. It gives some protection to disabled people, veterans, to, widows. I'm just saying, there are a point. Now, some states, doing my research, some states, I don't think you have to pay off your mortgage to actually get the homestead exemption. So that is a plus. You need to do your research. You need to check your state. You need to go to your local tax assessor's office, because I'm learning this, every county, every parish kind of has a different way to do it. Now, it's all based on state law. And I just read to you what Louisiana state law says. Here are the requirements. You must own the land. A lot of people say, well, I own my land. You're paying a mortgage. You do not own that land. Your name is not on that deed. It is the mortgage company's name on the deed to your property. And in this day and age, I see so many people giving advice to new homesteaders, young couples, older people, people who are wanting to become self-sufficient. And they're like, well, just get the best interest rate you can. Are you kidding me? Close your mouth. Stop giving that kind of nasty advice out to people. Guys, work hard. Pay your debt off. Cut your credit cards up. You want to be self-sustainable? Cut your credit cards up. And I mean that. That's going to show you right there what you can and cannot do. That means here at Starkey Farmstead, we're not always buying new stuff. Sometimes we're cutting up things, reusing things, repurposing things, because we're debt-free. It also means that if we want to go out to eat lunch that day, and I know that I have to purchase something for my farm, and funds, I'm waiting, I'm in between, I'm not selling as much that week, the electric bill was $440 that month, that we're going to go without eating out because we don't have a credit card to fall back on. So it makes us feel better, and we're learning to adjust to the economy as it is. Guys, it's not a great economy that we live in right now. Don't give advice to people and tell them that the only way that they can homestead is to go out and get a mortgage. That is not true. That is not true. In fact, true homesteading is being debt-free, in my opinion. And when you look up the definition of homesteading, really, and I'm not just talking about, the first four that pop up in Google, I'm truly talking about, look it up, do some research. Homesteading came from, the concept came from people going out being self-sufficient, pulling out of the mainstream spending economy, providing all the food, the fiber. Now we have modern day homesteaders, and that's different. But when you're watching people, when you're getting advice from people, what are the values that they are imparting to you? Because if their only advice for you is, you have to have 20 acres, you must have this, get a raw piece of land if that is all you can do. If all you can afford cash is half an acre and you had to save 3 years for that, get that half acre, take that deed with your name on it, especially if you're in Louisiana. Like I said, every state is different. Go up there and get it homestead exempted. From there, proudly claim yourself a homesteader. Now, I've explained before in other videos why Stephen and I call ourselves a farmstead. By federal law, if your farm produces $1,000 in goods a year, you are entitled to use the word farm. So we are a farmstead. We meet the requirement for homestead exemption. We meet every definition for homestead you can come up with, and we make money. So we legally, technically are farmstead. So it's Starkey Farmstead. So don't let people loosely use definitions like we love to do nowadays. Like, everything is different than it was meant to be, because the laws in the books are still very strict, very straightforward. If you're going to call yourself a homesteader, and I'm not saying that you can't call yourself a homesteader if you still have a mortgage, but my advice would be, if you truly want a homestead, do everything in your power, everything in your power. If that means reducing your family to one vehicle, that's what we do here. If that means selling all the vehicles and getting one used paid for vehicle, then taking what you would have been paying on car notes and now pay all that towards your mortgage, cutting up your credit cards, giving yourself a date that you intend to pay off your mortgage, and then go get your homestead exemption done. Then when you say, I'm a homesteader, you will mean it in every sense of the word. You are truly homesteading. Okay, because the way things are going right now, if you look back in American history, when the Great Depression hit, they were kicking like 78,000 people a day out of their homes in cities, like this city 78,000, that city 50,000, this city 30,000 a day across the United States out of their homes. So you had all these people in a mass exodus being expunged from their homes because they thought they owned their homes with a mortgage. No, you never did. You are not protected. You continue to miss that mortgage payment over so long, and the bank comes back and takes it from you. People are like, well, there'll be too many of us. Like, that doesn't make any sense. They're not going to kick, 10 million people out of their homes. They did it during the Great Depression. Cut your credit cards up first. Go to a debt consolidation. Get it paid off. And if you can't, if they say you don't have enough debt, then there's no excuse at all not to pay it off. If you're on a one income, moms, listen up. If your husband works full time and you guys are trying to pay a mortgage off, get a weekend job. Let him stay home with his children and you go get a job. Work in the evenings. When he comes home at 6 o'clock, you go to work. If there's a will, there's a way. And I know that people are going to be like, oh, it's just too much. If you want to really, truly homestead, you're going to be used to working. We work, and I am not joking. When my feet hit the floor in the morning, guys, I go to 10:30 at night. And my feet hit the floor before 7 days a week. 7 days a week. And I love it. I love it. I want this lifestyle for everybody. But I think a lot of people have a very topia idea of homesteading and farmsteading. And I think that if you're going to decide you want to do this lifestyle, if you can't do it debt-free, then you aren't doing it. You aren't doing it. You have done something incorrectly. You grew too big, too fast, whatever it is. Consolidate, sell things off. Because right now, in American history, is the worst time, and I honestly believe this, for anybody to be in debt. Okay, don't lose your home. Don't lose your private property. And that's really what they want, guys. That's what the World Economic Forum truly wants by 2030, is there to be no private property. And in America, that's a very doable thing when something like 70% of people have mortgages. All right, get your mortgage paid. A lot of people are going on vacation and they're getting their hair done every week. And I'm not saying you can't look nice, and I'm not saying you can't go on vacation, but I am saying quit spending money until you pay the debts that you owe. And I feel that way about student loans too. That's whole nother topic. You guys have a blessed day. I hope this helps you. Look up, go to your tax assessor wherever you live. First thing Tuesday morning. Happy Labor Day, America. Check it out. See what you need to do, what the requirements are for you to get your homestead exemption in place and become a true homesteader. You guys have a blessed day. God loves America, and so do I.